Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. We've got a very cool Blu-ray release here to talk about. And this must be like a reissue because this concert film, or this actually documentary, has actually been out for a number of years. It was originally released in 2014. And then the first, I think, DVD edition came out in 2017. So this is the brand new Blu-ray of Bad Company. The Band, the Music, the Story, a film by John Brewer, official authorized 40th anniversary documentary on the band Bad Company. So if you are a fan of, Mr. Paul Rodgers and Simon Kirke, and Boz Burrell, and I am drawing a complete blank. Mick Ralphs. How can I forget? Sometimes trying to remember all these like rock star names all the time. It's just like crazy. Anyway, you know the band. Okay, so here, this is a very good documentary. So this goes way back. Goes back to the really early days of Free. You got some kind of cool live footage of the band Free, which was obviously Simon and Paul's first big band together with the late Paul Kossoff and the late Andy Fraser. And they got some cool footage. They talk about, the early days of that band and how they eventually morphed into, became Bad Company, all right, getting signed to Swan Song Records. They talk a lot about Peter Grant and the guys in the Zeppelin, all that kind of stuff. A lot of cool concert footage, a lot of interviews with the guys in the band from back then and more recently. They actually, for this film, they got the three surviving members sitting down together, actually talking about their history and a lot of the great times and the not so great times. So you've got sitting on a couch together is, Simon and Mick and Paul. And, God, Paul Rodgers still he's like the fountain of youth, man. I'm telling you, what is he eating and drinking, that guy? He just looks just as good as he did 30 years ago. Crazy. And just a really well put together documentary. And it's just really cool to hear like all of the, like I said, the good times and the bad times right directly from the mouths of those three guys. And, there's also some interview snippets with Boz Burrell's widow. She kind of talks about his final days and all that kind of stuff. And they talk about they go a lot in depth of the big years, in the mid-late 70s, and these guys had their own jet and they were making so much money, right? The albums were selling great, and there's interview segments with Ron Nevison, the producer, and just you get to know all about what was going on with the band at the time. And then they talk about how, the well was kind of running dry a little bit. The last two albums, not so well received. The band wasn't feeling it. They talk about Paul obviously leaving the band. Band is kind of no more. He goes off, does a solo album. Then he hooks up with Jimmy Page to do the two Firm albums. They talk about that. But what's interesting is they kind of hint at how, Mick and Simon and Boz went and did other things. But they never actually get around to talking about them putting Bad Company back together without Paul and with Brian Howe on vocals. They don't mention that at all. It's like it never happened, which is very strange because they had a bit of success, with that formation of the band without Paul Rodgers. They talk a lot about Paul Rodgers and what he was doing, about his solo records, the blues stuff, hooking up with the guys from Queen, doing that. They talk about all that, but it's as if the Brian Howe era never happened. Now, maybe there's, legal issues there, and that's why they didn't talk about any of that, but it's just really bizarre because, that is part of the history of Bad Company. Obviously not part of the history of these four guys because one or two of them were not involved, but just really strange. And then they talk about doing the reunion shows and getting back together to do touring and stuff. They talk a bit towards the end, which I found probably one of the most fascinating things about this film is towards the end. And again, I know this was this was recorded and put together in 2014, so 6 years ago. But they do talk, you got Mick Ralphs and I believe also Simon were talking about, the potential of recording new material for a new album, and that they would be interested in doing that. So that was 6 years ago, and we haven't seen that yet. So Who knows? But it's just kind of cool to hear and see from the mouths of the guys who created some of these classic songs, and they talk about how they came up with these riffs, how they came up with these lyrics and all that kind of stuff, to a lot of the more popular songs, Shooting Star and Bad Company and Feels Like Making Love and all these, really, really big songs. And just a really fun, very cool documentary that I really enjoyed watching. I may actually watch it again because I kind of had to stop and start it numerous times because there were things going on here at the house. But really good quality. Excellent documentary, and this is actually put out by music video distributors, right, from FilmRise. Okay, so check it out. Bad Company, the band, the music, the story. A film by John Brewer. Highly recommended if you're a Bad Company fan. So check it out. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning with another issue of Deep Cut Dive, right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.